There was a game that we want to talk about because the Super Bowl, like one thing on this show, we're not going to talk too much. We're not going to get into football a lot. I'm going to tell you right now, football is like covered enough by the major sports, I think. However, what I will tell you is that we are going to talk about some big event. And the Super Bowl is not, it's one of the biggest events in mankind. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, what I'm going to tell you is we all know the Kansas City Chiefs won the championship. The Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. Boo. Boo. Boo.
Whatever.
Boo. 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 It was just horrible. But they won, and they won from coming back. They came back. They were down. So 49ers were on the sideline. I think somebody popped a bottle of champagne or something, like halfway through the third quarter. That was pretty bad. But here's the thing. The thing about that is that Kansas City was supposed to win. They were actually the favorites coming in. But somehow 49ers thought they were the favorites. Here's my take, and we're going to break it down like this. I want to know from both of you, talking about like how the game was lost and how it was won. So how did the 49ers lose? Go to Brian first.
Well, the 49ers lost because they have Shanahan as a coach.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he was offensive coordinator for the Falcons?
Yeah.
What happened?
They lost.
All right, so check this out. It was 28-9 at the end of the third quarter with the Falcons against the Patriots in that Super Bowl in 2016-17.
Yes.
I forget exactly what year.
Yep.
The Patriots scored 19 points in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
To tie the game, and then they beat them in overtime.
Yep. 100%.
The 49ers were winning 20-10 with like 9 minutes left in this game.
Yeah.
And this is the stats that I have. Shanahan called 13 pass plays and only 4 running plays.
Yeah, horrible. They abandoned the run completely.
Yeah, so you're not running out the clock.
Yep.
And you're just doing pass plays that some of them did work.
Yeah.
But Shanahan screwed up with the Falcons as the offensive coordinator, and now as the head coach of the 49ers. When the game comes to that line, it looks like it's his fault.
Yeah, 100%. So here's my question to you, and how was the game won?
Andy Reid.
So you're saying it was just great coaching that took was responsible for
Pat
both?
Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Chiefs were amazing. They did very well, especially in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. But Andy Reid is one of the most winningest coaches that before the Super Bowl was the most winningest coach without a Super Bowl ring.
100%.
So he knew the analytics. He knew how to go in crunch time and win the game with a spectacular quarterback as Patrick Mahomes and great receivers like Tyreek Hill and their running backs who killed the game.
Of course.
So, yes, the players...
And the 49ers, by the way, had a number one defense in the regular season for the run.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's another thing. The defense in the fourth quarter for the 49ers completely didn't show up.
They were popping bottles of champagne.
A 44-yard pass to Tyreek Hill where he was wide open. Yeah. Like, come on. You can't do that in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl.
I just want to say, I feel like they were popping a little bit of the bubbly. Okay, so, Calvin, I'm going to turn it to you. What was the thing for you? How was the game lost, and how does the game won? Go ahead.
All right, so I think the game was lost because they was focused too much on the halftime show. They was looking at too much booty. I don't blame them. No. But in all honesty, man, I think it was a little bit, they got the big head. San Francisco did. It was horrible coaching in that last, 9 minutes. I think the first part of that, man, you was looking like a genius with your prediction. I was like, all right, I'm going to have to hear it on the show. My man Joe was right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Their friend was taking it to these boys. Right. And,
it's true. I was appreciating that, actually.
They put in the cheat. No, but like Brian said, man, Andy Reid, man, is a heck of a coach.
Yep. He deserved the Super Bowl win.
Yep. He always preaches to his guys about staying true to what they are. You know what I'm saying? So everything that Shanahan didn't do, I feel like Andy Reid did. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shanahan went away from the game plan. Andy Reid was like, yo, look, I know you done throw a couple of interceptions, but, yo, ball out and show them why you are who you are. And everybody showed up. Everybody showed up on Kansas City. Even the cheerleaders. I think one of them caught a pass.
It's true. It's true. This is what I'm going to say, and I'll sum it up very quickly. In my opinion, the game was lost because the 49ers decided they were going to win. They were ahead. They said, we're going to sit back, we're going to cruise, we're going to do this. And they said, we got this.
Right.
And they were up by 11, I think, at that point. And to be up by 11 and say you got this against a high-powered offense like the Chiefs, that's arrogant and it's irresponsible. But I'm going to go for the game, and that's just to set up this. This is somebody, I don't hear anybody saying this, and I understand. I have 49er friends, and I hope one of them's watching, Mr. Adam. It was Jimmy Garoppolo's fault. Whatever. Porn star Jimmy.
Garoppolo.
It was his fault. And I'm going to tell you why, because here's the bottom line. Jimmy G, porn star Jimmy, as he's known because he dated a porn star, which, not knocking him, but that is the nickname you have when you date a porn star. You porn star Jimmy. He started to get like Brett Favre. And there was a point where they actually took a picture of of him throwing the ball. He had his eyes closed. Okay? Like he's just like chucking it downfield. And there was one of his wide receivers was wide open, and he threw it 10 yards past the wide receiver. And I said, if that was Tom Brady...
I remember that play. That should have been a touchdown.
That should have been a touchdown.
100%.
And here's the thing. If it was Tom Brady, that would have connected. If it was Eli Manning on that stage, it would have connected.
Yeah.
If it was Ben Roethlisberger, it would have connected. I'll give you one more name. If it was Pat Mahomes, it would have connected. Oh, by the way, it did connect, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was Jimmy G. And don't get me wrong, I'm a 49ers fan. He gives me so much stuff because he's, No. I like the Giants, Jets, and 49ers. I don't understand. That's fine.
Me neither.
I actually kind of like the Seattle Seahawks as my number
Just
14.
continue the show, please.
Well,
don't get me started on that.
Well, we're good. Eventually, we're going to have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But here's the bottom line. The bottom line is, I'm a 49ers. I like the 49ers. I grew up a 49ers fan. My grandmother was Joe Montana. She loved Joe Montana. And that's how I got the influence there. What happened?
You said your grandma was Joe Montana?
My grandmother loved Joe Montana and Joe Namath. Those were the two. No, my grandmother's not Joe Montana.
You just got that?
Yeah. No, that's not what that's not. You know what? It's the virtual that's messing up right now. But 49ers fan, Jimmy G is going to be their quarterback for the next 6 years. And at the end of the day, he's a good quarterback. He is a starting quarterback in this league. He is going to keep them in the playoffs as long as they have that defense. As long as they have that defense, and that defense is going to get better, they will be in the Super Bowl, I think. I think there's no NFC team besides the Saints, and it's only if the Saints have Drew Brees.
And Drew Brees might be leaving.
He might be retiring. He's done.
Yeah.
And exactly. Because we all know that Tom Brady, if he does go to another team, it's going to be the Raiders. That's AFC.
Yeah.
So...
there's a lot of quarterbacks leaving this offseason, too.
Either
they're free agents or they're retired.
What's that? So
you just going to downplay the Seahawks?
No. So the problem with the Seahawks, and I'm going to say, keeping it real to Seattle, the Legion of Boom is over. And
they still good without that. I almost said we. I'm a Giants fan through and through, but no, they still pretty decent. They're
decent. They're decent, but are they elite? No, I don't think they're an elite defense. I think the NFL has 3 elite defenses, and that is the 49ers, that is the New Orleans Saints, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. I think those are the 3 top defenses that, to me, are elite and can get people to a Super Bowl.
I think it all depends on what happens.
And the Chiefs beat 2 out of 3.
You said the Chiefs?
The Chiefs beat 2 out of 3 of those.
Yeah, they did. They stepped up.
I just think it's going to depend on what happens this offseason in regards to quarterback moves and stuff like that, because no one thought, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, no one thought that the 49ers were going to be this good this year.
No, they didn't.
They went, 4 and something last year?
Yeah.
And now to the Super Bowl.
Not to the Super Bowl. But remember, they didn't have a quarterback. And that's a testament to not having your starting quarterback.
So that's what I'm saying. And it all depends on what happens this offseason with all these moves. I think Phillip Rivers is a free agent.
Yep. And he's not retiring.
Tom Brady
is not retiring.
You said before, what's his name?
Drew
Brees.
Brees. He's I think out of all the people,
back to the Saints, he's definitely retired.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think of all the people, the older quarterbacks, he's the one to likely retire.
Tannehill from the Titans.
Yeah,
I mean they
don't
did a
want
good
him.
run.
They don't want him.
But they did a good run. So he's a free agent, which is what I'm trying to say.
100%.
So it all depends on what happens then, and then you build the team around that.
100%. Now, the thing that I'll say that won the game, and I'm going to agree with you, Brian, because I think that this is definitely something that I would say Andy Reid won that game for the Chiefs. I think there couldn't have been a better coached game. I think, and honestly, he deserved. This man was 20 years in the league. He should have won a Philadelphia game where he had Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens, but their defense didn't show up. Right. So at the end of the day, he should have had a Super Bowl, but he got a Super Bowl. So what I will say is, so now the question is, give me one team between these two teams who's going to be back and why. Go, Brian.
If Andy Reid comes back to the Chiefs, which is looking like he might, he will, I would say the Chiefs. The 49ers, Shanahan just has to get better. I don't know. it really does, because they have a great team.
Yeah.
But it always comes down last minute. You know, I coach soccer. It always comes down to your last decisions at the end of the game. What do you tell your players? What kind of plays do you do? Do you play more defensive? Do you play more offensive? It all comes down to the coach at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
You know, you can have the best players out there. If you give them the wrong advice and they listen to you, you lose the game.
Yes, that's true.
So I think Chiefs
could come back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, other than the 49ers.
I love that. Calvin, your pick.
I'm actually not that critical on the 49ers, and I think that they have a better chance to get back because of this. Okay. So nobody is really saying how the defense kind of fell apart in that 9 minutes also.
Right.
I mean, they didn't score. They didn't score, true. But the D let up the 21 points. You know what I mean? Like, and for all the big talk, and I ain't getting hypercritical, but for all the big talk about Mr. Richard Sherman and all the other stuff about how he was the best. But even with that being said, the fact that they had so much emotion in the defense towards the end and crying and all of that, I mean, I feel like they're going to be hungry. I feel like they know that they let one slip away. And I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. And I think that's going to carry them back.
I 100% agree with that. And what I'm going to tell you is, in my opinion, I'm looking at these pictures that are up right now, and I'm looking at their faces. You know, you are a losing quarterback, in the confetti of the celebration is shameful. You see what's happening. You see what's happening on the other side of the field with the celebration, with the trophy, and you are just sitting there, and you're just like, oh my God, that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to be back. I think Jimmy G is going to be better. I'm going to go with the 49ers on this. I think the 49ers are going to be the ones to definitely come back. And don't get me wrong, are the Chiefs going to be in the AFC Championship? Absolutely. Not a doubt.
I'm telling you, it's going to come down to the offseason moves.
It's going to come down to offseason moves. I will tell you right now, every single 49er player, and obviously they're not the ones who make this decision. Right. But every single 49er player said they want to be back and that they don't like losing. It sucked to lose. So we will see that. So